Jeremy. Overall, you guys did pretty good defensively. A couple of big plays, untimely on your part in terms of what Rutgers did. Did they do anything differently offensively that surprised you during the course of the game?
No, you got to hand for Rutgers. They played real physical and they ran a bunch of those powers. And they just got good first down yardage. They were getting 4 or 5 yards in some of those rounds, and really hurt us there.
And this is for Chris, your first starting job. What was your mindset going into the game when you found out that you were going to get the starting job today? And at any point in time, did you feel that first game jitters are over and now you felt comfortable at the center?
I just went into the game like I did in high school. Just tried to do my best, and as soon as I got on that field, I felt comfortable, and I knew that these guys had my back.
Chris, just a follow-up. When did you find that you were starting?
It was about Thursday.
Really? Did you go in thinking, oh my God, I'm starting the first game here, or you pretty much figured, all right, I'm playing?
There was no time to be scared. I had big shoes to fill in, and it was just a big opportunity for me. And fortunately, it wasn't enough, but keep practicing, get better every day.
Edgar, that catch was awesome. Was that just keep your eyes on the ball and hoping for the best? That was an aspect.
Thank you. I just tried to make a play on the ball, help the team out as best I could, and it just happened to work out in my favor, and I'm just happy that it went that way, and I'm blessed.
Go ahead, Sam.
Kelvin, just talk about the emotions of playing your final game here today.
Still hasn't hit me yet. I'll never play a Mikey again, but just empty the tank really. There's not many emotions that I have left. I've had probably every emotion that you could think of today. Joy, excitement, especially when you have a freshman quarterback who starts his first game and plays so well. You have ESPN top 10 catch from Edgar Poe again. I mean, when you have plays like that, this gives you something to be proud of. And we have 1 goal left, so can't get down in the dumps. Got to keep the arrows up.
Go ahead, Ken.
Ken Kreitzer, Sons of American Legion Radio. Chris, congratulations, a great first day. And just maybe tell us about how it was on your passing game and getting that big third quarter touchdown pass out to Edgar.
Edgar's out there. He can always go and throw it up to him. He'll go get it and just put it up where he can get it. Might not be the best ball, but I had confidence in him, and he made the play.
And that you were, what was it like helping Chris get set for the game, and then you had Luke come in the game when Chris was out for a few plays? How does it work just supporting your freshman quarterback?
I mean, honestly, it was really easy to do. These guys practice hard all week, and Chris did a really great job. And then when he went down, me and Luke started to get snaps right away, and they both just did a great job. I'm really proud of both of them.
And I just thought on playing and blocking how your offensive line did against the Rutgers defense.
What's that? Can you say that again?
Just how did you feel your offensive line did playing a very big Rutgers defense?
I think our offensive line, we did a good job knocking them down. Obviously we came up short a couple of times, but I think overall I'm proud of the way that our guys played, and I think we threw the kitchen sink at them.
Jeremy, just going to ask you about challenges posed by Rutgers. James really had a big day rushing, but the defense didn't come together, especially in the second half. What adjustments did you make?
We just talked over our fits. Rutgers didn't come out with anything that new against us. And we kind of got a little messed up in the first half, but we got together at halftime. We got everything fixed, and I think we played well for the most part in the second half.
Go ahead, Sal.
Just for the older players, do you look at now, 1 game season, Navy's left after this one, or how much the focus shifts?
The whole season we do next game. It's not. It is Navy, but the whole season we just look at the next week. So obviously this is a big one. It's the next game on our schedule, so it's the one we're focused on. We got 3 weeks to prepare for them, and we do all we can.
Tell me just a little bit about your week at branch night this week, and then senior day today, and as you're saying earlier, the last game here, Mike, you say, what were your thoughts and emotions as you went through the week?
They were awesome. We had a great week of practice, and I got my first choice in the infantry. And like I said about the game today, I thought it was, you know, you can't knock us for our effort. And you know, I'm very fortunate enough to play alongside these guys, and you know, they're my brothers. And you know, like I said, I had all the emotions I could have. Unfortunately, we did come up short, but similar to what Jeremy's saying, Rutgers is over. I can't change that. That's a loss for us. But you know, we have 3 weeks to prepare for the team down in Annapolis, and that's it. That's all the seniors have left. So, you know, when you ask how big this game is coming up, this is everything we have. This is everything I have. I have to empty my tank again, and that's the plan.
Question for Kelvin. What are you going to take away from your time at Army? What are you going to take that on to your next stage, I guess?
I hope I can take the work ethic and the dedication that my brothers have. Something that you can't. I mean, you can't fake effort. That's not something you can fake. And I'm very proud, like I said, and very fortunate to play alongside these guys who really give everything. I mean, so I hope I can take that, and, you know, the hard work and toughness that Coach Malkin has instilled in this program, and I hope I can take something like that.
Just going to ask Van Ugenberg about your 2 years. Did you miss one play at center in 2 years, and just the experience of playing, leading the offensive line?
Yes, sir. I missed one play this year for my helmet coming off. I had to sit up next play. Then I missed a drive last year in Buffalo. But you know, it's just I've been honored to play with these guys. They're my, you know, the offensive line, a really close group, and it's just the whole experience has just been a blast for me.
All right, thanks, guys.
I thought our guys gave a tremendous effort today. Certainly disappointing that we just didn't find enough plays out there to score and get ourselves back in the ball game after being down at halftime. The one big play right after halftime that they hit on their opening drive that set up the score, really, I mean, that was about it for them until the last drive. I thought our defense did a great job, with the exception of that one big play in the second half, and certainly gave our team a chance to win. And offensively, having just the freshmen to go to with the 2 freshman quarterbacks, I thought Chris really battled, did a great job. We had the one center quarterback exchange that popped out of there, and I got to tell you, on Thursday when we were practicing out there, we had a stretch of 5 plays. We had 4 center quarterback exchanges. I didn't know if we could get a snap, and so to only have one of those was big. So I thought he did a good job running through some tackles and making some plays. He threw the ball well. Found I guess it was Edgar over on their sideline in the first half on that 3rd down where they were in cover 2, and he hit him over there on that side. It's not easy to find that guy, especially if you've never been in a college football game before, which he hasn't. And just to lead our team up and down the field. And so I was incredibly proud of his effort. And we didn't do a very good job stopping them from running the ball in the first half. They were running the power play, running the stretch play, and Jay kept talking to the guys about fitting the run better. We just didn't do that a very good job of that in the first half. We did much better in the second half. Missed some tackles, and just to give credit to Rutgers. They were a physical team, and ran through us some, both when we were trying to block them as well as when they were blocking us. So there'll be some things we can learn from it, but more than anything, we're gonna get ready for the next one, which is the biggest game of the year, and the opportunity that we have for this football team one more time to try to get a victory. There wouldn't be a bigger one for sure.
Go ahead, Charles.
Coach, on 4th and 1 at the Rutgers 19 during the first series of the game, you guys went for a 42-yard field goal versus going for first down. What was your strategy at that point? Was it just to get 3 on the board, or?
Try to strike first, try to get on the board and get some points. And you know, last week we had the ball on the 28-yard line. It was 2nd and 1, then it was 3rd and 1, it was 4th and 1, and we went for it. We didn't get it. And you know, hindsight's 20/20. If I'd have known they were going to block the kick, I certainly would have tried to go for it. And you know, it's I'm disappointed we didn't get those 3 points. It'd just been nice to be right there as be a 1 point, or excuse me, a 1 possession game rather than a 2 possession. We were just kind of chasing the whole time. And but we gave up pressure in the A gap on the right side, and credit to them, they blocked the kick.
You talked about Carter's first start as a freshman, obviously a solid game. Overall, though, the offense, can you talk about your assessment of how they played?
We did a good job at times blocking them, particularly on the perimeter. We were running the toss play, and we got them knocked down a few times. And we had a big 3rd down there in the last drive before we threw the interception, a 3rd and 8. And we talked about it. We said, hey, we're gonna take 2 downs here. There was a timeout call. We're gonna take 2 downs to try to make it. We knew we needed to get points, and we did. You know, it's a perfect example. We called a toss play, and our guys went down there. We went out there and knocked those guys down. We knocked the free safety down. We got 9 yards to keep the drive alive. Kemper's run was just a fullback dive, and we're just trying to power through everybody and knock them out of there and create some movement there. And we did, and it's a play that we've run this year and not had great success on. We just feel like if we keep working and we keep practicing and we keep calling those plays that we know if we block them, they're going to work. They're the same ones we've called for years and have worked, and I know they're going to work for us. And that was just a perfect example. Our guys lining up and believing that they were going to get it done, and so we hit that play several times today. Not the big long run like he had, but for some really positive yards, and that's a big step for us, just because it is such a physical play where we got to knock people off the ball, and it's not just the linemen, it's the slots and the wide receivers and everybody. So I think there was some good things, and certainly just disappointed that we didn't get more points. We didn't get ourselves in position to score a little bit more. Edgar Poe's play was fantastic, catch and run, and so you know, it's being down 10 at halftime. As I told our team, only getting 7 in the second half, it won't add up anyway. You slice it. You know, if you're down 10, you only score 7 in the second half, you're not going to win. So we need to score some more points, and just didn't get it done.
Coach, Chris looked remarkably confident. I thought when I heard about a freshman coming in, taking his first steps, being a very conservative kind of day, but with the pitches, with the throws, he looked like he felt comfortable out there.
He did a nice job, and you know, give credit to Mitch Ware, who coaches him. Mitch does a really good job coaching those guys and preparing those guys, and being on the sideline with him. He's able to talk to him between each series and talk him through the things that maybe he should have done better. And I thought Brent and the offensive staff came up with a good game plan for him for this game that he would be able to execute. We didn't want to put too much on him. There just weren't a lot of plays we were running. We tried to get some different formations. We ran some formations today we'd never been in before. And that was really just to help him and to try to keep the game plan simple and change in terms of formation, and thought that might help us and benefit us. But he made some good throws, and like a lot of guys that play for the first time, he was probably a nervous wreck in his own heart of hearts in the first series. But once the game gets going, you settle down. He's been in football games before, and you realize that it's really just like any other football game. You got to do your job and execute. And I thought he really did a nice job.
Go ahead, Jake.
Coach, can you talk about the defense a little bit against Rutgers? You guys gave a little bit of lapses to Paul James, but Jeremy Timpian, a couple of, I think 6 or 7 tackles. He played very well, getting in the backfield. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. As I mentioned, they did a really nice job running the football. And in the first half, they were having a lot of success just running right at us. And I thought we had our guys in good position. What happens is you see that ball starting to move when you stand back there, and you got these big guys coming at you, and there's other people between you and the ball, and you see the ball start to move one direction. It's natural to want to go get it and to play over the top and go make that play, and probably we were doing that far too much and being a little over aggressive and overrunning the ball. The ball was cutting back on us, and we should have had people in position, and we just played too fast on some of those things. And you'll hear coaches talk about run fits, and it's really just when those guys line up, there's a gap. There's a gap between the center and the guard and tackle, and guard and tackle and tight end, and then outside the tight end, and everybody's responsible for one of those gaps. And as those bodies move, the gaps move with them, and we got to move to get into those gaps. And sometimes we move too fast and overrun it, and other times you don't move fast enough and it beats you outside. And that's the balance it takes to be able to play good defense, is to be able to get in those gaps, beat a block so you don't get blocked, and beat a block and be in your gap and make the tackle. So they broke some tackles too. They did a nice job running through some arm tackles, and we got to do a better job with that, getting people to the ground when we have an opportunity.
Go ahead, Sal.
Was it just youth that was holding you back from playing Carter before today?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's to be a freshman and be ready to do all of the things that we want to do. It's not easy. It's not easy to just step into that role, and I don't know that he was ready today. We had forced him to be ready, and certainly maturity helps. Having a guy that you can put in the game. As we've gone through the season, we've had so many close games. We haven't been able to play other people. We couldn't. We'd love to get some time for a lot of those guys. I might have been Ron that asked about Hugenberg playing all the plays. Was that you guys? Yeah, or Ken? Yeah. And that kid's missed 5 snaps in 2 years. Well, you'd love to get Josh Boylan in there some, or Lofi Thomas-Say, get him in there some and get him some work. But we played so many close games, you feel like you got to have the starters in there, and you're trying to win the game. And so there just hasn't been any opportunities to get Chris in the game and give him some work. And that's where those guys really learn to play, and they get themselves ready when they become the guy. And sometimes you find out in those situations that they're capable of doing more than you know. And so he just kind of got forced into this role today, and I thought he handled it really, really well. And certainly, if he can continue to improve upon this performance, we're going to have some competition at quarterback, which is healthy and good for our football team. There should be at every position. But I'm glad to know that he's capable of making those plays. I thought he did a really good job. Ran out of some tackles and made some good runs, made some good decisions, made a couple poor decisions, but it's not unique to him. We've done that before too.
He do enough to be considered as a starting quarterback for Navy?
Oh, I don't know. We'll evaluate and assess where we're at. I think it's hard after one game to say, hey, this guy's going to be the starter against Navy. I think the other guys have done enough this year to prove, to us that they're capable of leading our team against Navy. And but certainly Chris did enough today that we wouldn't be overly concerned if he had to go in the game. We know that he's got some experience in what he's capable of.
Coach, you had 4 quarterbacks in recent weeks, so Luke went in late today in a moment. How much does the rest of the team adjust when you change a quarterback? I mean, in terms of timing and perhaps just trying to offer more support.
Well, we try to keep it as consistent as we can. So certainly the snap counts are the same, and we try to keep those consistent on a rhythm so that there's not any difference. And when the snap happens, everything is timed for us in terms of that. So they all do a pretty good job with that. As I mentioned, just getting in some different formations today, we thought that might help Chris, just so that we didn't have to manipulate a lot with what they might do, saying, okay, we're going, if they do this, you do this, and if they line up this way, here's where our check will be, and really just getting in some things where once they lined up to it, we had an idea of where they would be. That helped us be able to tell him, okay, Chris, here's where they're going to line up. Here's the plays that we're going to call. Here's the read key, here's the pitch key, here's what we're looking for, and go do it. And that takes some pressure off of him, which is good. And I think our whole team, defense as well as offense, felt a sense of responsibility to kind of protect him and take care of him. When you're a freshman playing for the very first time, it's not easy to trot out there and do your job perfectly, regardless of what position you're playing. But certainly a quarterback, there's a lot on you there. So I think those guys try to do a great job of helping him, but they rallied behind him, and I didn't see any signs that we were struggling because we had a freshman quarterback, and if that were the case, then we probably would have put the other freshman quarterback in, or put Matt in and tried something different. But for the most part, we had some drives going and did a pretty good job. When we didn't move the ball, it's because we didn't block them. It didn't have a whole lot to do with Chris.
Just on the defense, Jeremy said you made adjustments at halftime, and you had the 2 stop third downs late, had the penalty on the punt. Just to see more maturity in the defense in that sequence.
They did a much better job in the second half, and really the adjustments were that we fit the run better than we did in the first half, and that's really the bulk of what Jay talked to them about. That they were running those couple of run plays, and we've practiced those many times, and we just weren't doing a very good job fitting it, and playing off blocks was some of it. Missing tackles was another part of it, and knew that we could play better and have played better through the year. And I thought we did that in the second half. Like I said, that long play to start the second half, we missed a tackle coming from the backside. I think maybe a couple guys kind of had their hands on him, and we tackled him way down the field. But really, I thought our defense did a good job. I had a lot of confidence in our defense after those first couple stops in the second half. And when we roughed the punter, and it came right back out, and we made a punt again, that was really a great sign for the improvement that we made from the first to the second half.
All right, thanks guys.